All right, some innovations are coming to your local TSA, something to be excited about. Let's watch this.
It's been 23 years since TSA was stood up. Today, screening 2.5 million people every day at 440 airports nationwide. Every carry-on, every suitcase, every passenger screened and cleared. But now the TSA is testing what could be a faster checkpoint of the future.
It was great. Quick. No hassle.
A self-checkpoint. Much like self-grocery checkouts, almost the entire screening process is self-guided. More automated, allowing TSA officers to keep eyes on security. What did you think?
I liked it. I think it's a lot easier.
But it's not gone without hiccups. Gloria from New York was rushing to catch a flight.
It took me 4 or 5 tries to get through.
What was the hang-up?
Supposedly my watch, my hair clip, and my jacket.
Starting today, a 6-month trial run in Las Vegas, reserved for pre-check flyers only who know the routine. Some of this will be familiar to regular travelers. Come up to the checkpoint, take your carry-on, put it in the bin. If you've got any questions, simply ask the TSA officer on demand.
Hi there, how may I help you today?
TSA officers will dial in remotely.
Place everything in the bin. Yes, and when you're all done, go ahead and slide your items forward.
Slide your bin onto the rollers, then walk right into the full body scanner. And this is what's new. You come in and you put your arms down to the side, and it's going to look for anything that shouldn't be there. And it's telling me I got to come back out. I have a microphone, of course, that it's detected. I've got the transmitter on my belt, and something a lot of people forget, my cell phone. Bags that require rescreening cycle back automatically.
Well, that's not creepy at all. So now you walk into the scanner and it closes behind you and you're trapped in a metal box, in a glass box rather. I mean, this is the worst idea that TSA has come up with since it had the idea to exist in the first place. Just imagine the nightmare this is going to be. I can't even, think about being stuck. Think about it this way. Think about being stuck behind the person in a self-checkout lane at the grocery store, the person who has decided to self-scan an entire grocery cart full of groceries, despite apparently having no idea how any of it works. They have no concept. They don't know how to scan. They don't know. They have a produce, they pull out a green pepper and it's like, it's a crisis. They don't know what, they don't know. I mean, even though there are pictures like press here for produce and they're looking at the thing, they have no clue. They start looking under it to see if there's, so that scenario, but amplified by 1 million is what we're talking about if you do this at TSA. Because now you have an endless stream of travelers who are confused and flustered, trying to dial in to the remote TSA call center person, who, by the way, will have an even worse attitude than the normal TSA people when they're there in person. So that was totally fanciful what we just saw with, the TSA call center, and she was sitting there and she's all, happy and very patient. Oh, we'll do that and do this. She's very happy. She'll walk them through it. But we know that it's like, who are the most surly groups of people that you encounter as a customer? One, TSA agents, they're maybe number one, or maybe number two. And then number one are call center employees. So those are the two groups that have the worst attitude. And now you're going to combine them. Now you're going to put them together into one. And those are the people that we're going to be dealing with. And that if you have an issue as you're trying to get through self-checkout at the airport now, that's the person you got to. And think about how many fail points there are along the way. Because that's the other problem. You automate everything. Everything's computers. And then there are so many different there are so many different places where this can get screwed up. And not only where it could get screwed up, but it could get screwed up in a way that nobody on the premises knows how to fix. Okay, so the screen goes down and you can't contact the TSA person to get help. What do you do then? Okay, the whole system breaks down. You go into the self-scanner thing. It doesn't work. What do? You get stuck. The glass doors won't open. There's someone stuck in there. That's going to be the next horror story. We've heard about people getting stuck on, if you get stuck on a tarmac for 2 hours. Now we're going to have stories of people getting stuck inside the scanner for 4.5 hours. That's what's going to happen. Keeping windshields clean is always a pain, especially with all the rain we've been getting here in Nashville. That's why I am so grateful to have Windshield Wow. Windshield Wow is an innovative windshield cleaning device that uses two magnetic cleaning paddles, one on the outside and one on the inside of your car, to clean both sides of your windshield, all from the outside. Being able to clean both the front and the inside window at the same time is a game changer. I wish I had one of these years ago. Windshield Wow applies firm cleaning pressure. It's super thin to get into those tight dashboard areas. All you got to do is push around the outside paddle, and the inside follows automatically, leaving your windshield squeaky clean. What's awesome about Windshield Wow is how easy it is to throw these in the back of your car, and you always have it there. Think about how much we're in our car, from daily commutes, road trips, bird droppings, tree sap, and more. Windshield Wow is always here to save the day. Washing your car windshield enhances visibility and driving safety, and also helps preserve the integrity of your vehicle's glass and paintwork. It's a simple yet essential aspect of car maintenance that shouldn't be overlooked. So what are you waiting for? Go to windshieldwow.com. Use code Walsh to check out for a special discount. That's windshieldwow.com. Using code Walsh. Are you struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns this year? The IRS is escalating collections by adding 20,000 new agents. In these challenging times, your best defense is to use Tax Network USA. Along with hiring thousands of new agents and field officers, the IRS has kicked off 2024 by sending over 5 million pay-up letters to those who have unfiled tax returns or balances owed. These guys are not your friend. Don't waive your rights and speak to these agents on your own. Tax Network USA, a trusted tax relief firm, has saved over $1 billion in back taxes for their clients, and they can help you secure the best deal possible. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, they can help. Whether it's businesses or personal taxes, whether you have the means to pay or you're on a fixed income, Tax Network USA can help finally resolve your tax burdens once and for all. Seize control of your financial future now, and don't let tax issues overpower you. Contact Tax Network USA for immediate relief and expert guidance. Call 1-800-245-6000 or visit tnusa.com/Walsh. Turn to Tax Network USA and find your path to financial peace of mind. That's tnusa.com/Walsh. It's going to be so bad. We're going to be at the point now where if you have a flight on Wednesday, you need to get to the airport on Monday morning in order to have any chance of making it to your flight on time. And besides that, you've also now officially just embraced the fact that TSA is nothing but security theater. It's not actual security. I mean, that's been the case the entire time, obviously, because if somebody wants to sneak something through, it's not that hard to do already. And many of us have had the experience of accidentally sneaking things through. You get through security, and then you look in your bag, and you're like, oh, I have a massive pocket knife in my bag. I had no. Okay, well, all right. I guess I'm bringing this on the plane. They didn't know. Not that I'm saying I've ever done that. To be clear, it's probably a federal crime. I've never done that myself. I never would. But I've heard stories of that. I've heard stories of people making it through security with things that definitely you're not supposed to have on the airplane anymore. And so it's always been that way, and now it's even more that way. Because the one advantage of the TSA from a security perspective, if they're, like, in theory, the one advantage of the TSA is that you have human beings, supposedly trained people, who are there and can observe and hopefully spot any suspicious behavior. And they can do it in a way that again, in theory, only people can do, because people can read other people in a way that computers cannot. And they've proven inept at doing that. But now if you go to the self-checkout option, that's not even a possibility. So, of course the answer is just get rid of the entire thing. Because you know why? You know why there hasn't been a terrorist attack on a plane since 9/11? You know why there hasn't been one? I'll tell you why. Because nobody has tried. That's the actual reason. I mean, a few people have tried. They're the shoe bomber, right? What was the underwear bomber? And those are both decades ago now. But they botched that on their own. They weren't caught by TSA. So for the most part, it hasn't happened because nobody has wanted it to make it happen. No one has put the effort in to blow up a plane. Thank God. And because mostly there are few terrorist attacks because there just aren't that many terrorists out there trying to perpetrate attacks against us. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm not saying it's not a plausible risk, but it's just not common. It just isn't common. There aren't, and that's true because yes, there's security at the airport, security that you can easily. It's not that hard. Everybody knows what the security is, and if you are an even mildly sophisticated terrorist, you could figure out a way to get around it. This is not Fort Knox, but also, I mean, look, the Amtrak, for example. I was on the Amtrak recently. Anyone can board the Amtrak with a bomb. No problem. There's not anything stopping you. So, which also doesn't make it, not that I want TSA at Amtrak now also, but it also just makes no sense. Like the federal government has this intense focus on airplanes, and yet on a train you could put a bomb in the backpack, you just walk right on. It's like nobody will know. There's nothing stopping you. So how does that make any sense? It's like we think that that's the planes are the only place a terrorist would ever go, and yet you don't, for the most part, in this country, very often, thank God, see these kinds of things on trains either. But just because it's rare, so it's an extreme rarity. And my only point of bringing that up is that the TSA wants to give itself credit, and the government generally wants to give itself credit because they want to say, well, look, since 9/11, there hasn't been a successful terrorist attack on a plane. No, look at that. We've got almost 25 years terrorist attack free on planes. Well, yeah, but you get no credit for that. You just don't get any credit for it. It's not because of you. It's that the TSA is not out there foiling terrorist plots left and right. Okay? That's what, if it happened, they would tell us. If there was somebody with a suicide vest trying to get on a plane and the TSA stopped them, they would tell us. We would know about it. They don't tell us about it because it doesn't happen. And what we do know is that when the bad guys get it into their head that they want to perpetrate some terrible attack somewhere, the government actually is totally inept at stopping them. It's like whenever they decide they want to do it, they can do it. And it happens in those occasions. And especially if this is how we are going to handle it now. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.